Well, accepting gifts of stock and crypto on your own can be a challenge. So, what can you do to make it easy? Well, we're going to answer that question today with Mark DeMoss. Mark is our director of relationship management. He helps people better use the tools that we create, but he's also served as a business administrator and executive pastor in the local church for 20 years. So, he's been in the same shoes as many of you. Now, Mark, accepting gifts of stock or cryptocurrency can be a difficult process. Can you kind of outline the process if a church was to do that on their own?
Yeah, sure. Be happy to do that. As a business administrator, I usually just on our website have, hey, contact the church office if you'd like to give by stock. So the donor will contact our office, and then we'll have to make sure that we've got a brokerage account set up, give the donor the brokerage account information that the church has. The donor then takes that information, contacts their brokerage account. Their brokerage account then usually doesn't make the process easy because they don't really want to lose the stock investments. And they'll have them download a paper form, fill out the stock transfer authorization form, indicating the stock, our brokerage account, all those details, and then submit it to their broker. And everybody waits. Everybody waits for their broker to contact my church's broker and to transfer the stock from one account to the other. As a business administrator, I'm not getting notified when that stock arrives in my brokerage account. So I have to remember to check the account regularly. And then the day comes when, voila, the 100 shares of Apple stock donation showed up. And I'm assuming that's from the donor. Well, as soon as that stock shows up, there's a number of things that I need to take action on right away. Most of our churches, at least the ones that I've served in, we don't hold stock. We consider that to be speculative use of the Lord's money. And so we need to liquidate it right away. So I need to sell the stock right away. As soon as I receive the stock, and then as soon as I liquidate the stock, if it's in excess of an IRS threshold, like say $5,000 of contribution, I now have some IRS forms reporting requirements. Okay, that's all foreign to me because as a business administrator, I don't deal with IRS stuff very much.
Right.
So I've got to make sure that I get that right. So now I've liquidated the stock, made the acknowledgments to the donor on the IRS forms. The other challenge that I have as a business administrator is how do I account for this in the contribution statement? Because I'm accustomed to always recording all contributions on our contribution statements that go out at the end of the quarter, at the end of the year to the donors. Well, wait a minute, there's a little disclaimer on the bottom of the contribution statement that says everything that we've acknowledged in the list of donations is cash or cash equivalents. It's not property. But wait a minute, stock was donated. That wasn't cash, that was property. So it's a real conflict of how to handle that acknowledgement. So there's quite a few steps involved in the
Yeah.
process.
I was tracking along, counting them. I think I lost track around 17 or 18. And I heard multiple steps, paper forms, multiple brokerages, reporting to the IRS, different statements at the end of the year, complicated process. Now, I'd love if you could just help us understand what's the process look like when people give through our integration with the Giving Block?
Yes, happy to do it. So it's such a great experience, both as the church business administrator and especially for the donor at the church too. So the stock donor goes to our church webpage. They don't have to contact our office. I don't have to be at the office to answer the call. They just go to our church's webpage for giving. And we have two different buttons there. We have the one that says give now, like they're always accustomed to doing, where they can give using their debit card, credit card, or their bank withdrawal. Or we have the other button that says, if you'd like to give stock, click here. They give that a click. It opens up the Giving Blocks donation environment that was set up for our church. So it's exclusive to our church. And the donor simply says, I would like to give 100 shares of AAPL Apple stock in this example. It calculates for the donor, oh, well, Apple right now is trading at this share price, $186 a share. So that means you'd like to give $18,600 equivalent in shares of stock to the church. Is that correct? You click, yes, that's correct. It opens up the next screen. They put in their brokerage information. This is the account I'd like to donate out of. And then they put in their personal identification information, their name, their address, their email address, that kind of thing. And they're done. They click submit, and off it goes to the giving block.
Wow.
And at that point, the giving block takes care of the broker to broker communication. They get the 100 shares of Apple transferred over into the giving block's account. They liquidate it. They take care of the IRS forms, notification requirements.
Yeah.
And the donor gets their acknowledgement of their contribution. And at the end of the month, I get notified as the business administrator that we received 100 shares of Apple, but actually they converted it to the cash, and we just get the cash contribution in the form of a check. We deposit it at our bank, and we're done.
Wow. That's fantastic. So it's 18, 19 step process, manual forms, all that headache, or fill out a form online, hit submit, and you're off to the races. That's great. Mark, thanks so much for helping us kind of better understand the process and how giving through our integration with Giving Block can be such a simple process for accepting stocks and crypto.